So let's talk about minification, what it is and why it is foundational to the WordPress web performance architecture you will learn how to implement in future course lectures. Minification is the process of removing all unnecessary characters from source code without changing its functionality, without changing the meaning of that information. These unnecessary characters usually include white space characters, new line characters, comments, things like that, which are used to add readability to the code for people that need to look at and read the code, but are not required for it to execute or for its functionality to be understood by a web browser. Unlike gzip compression, minification as a form of data compression is context or content specific. Whereas gzip either is or is not applied to all of our JavaScript files, for example, we can minify some of our JavaScript files while leaving others unminified. So, said differently, gzip is our data compression hammer, whereas minification is our data compression scalpel. It allows for particularization and refinement of our data compression strategy as data compression relates to the web performance optimization architecture that we devise for our website. Concatenation, which basically means combination or the act of combining, relates to and is inextricably bound up with minification. For example, let's say we have a set of 5 separate CSS files, some or all of which we have minified. We can combine those 5 separate CSS files into a single concatenated combined file. As a general rule of optimization, less means more when it comes to speed. In other words, not only does the act of removing all unnecessary characters from source code, i.e. minifying source code, make your website faster, but so does reducing the total number of files, assets, of resources with which the browser has to contend. The 5 CSS files combined into one in our example, even though we've done nothing more than combine them, reduces the overall burden on the browser. The single file is easier to carry for the browser than having to carry 5 separate files. Like you, a browser only has so many hands. If, for example, you have to move 5 fairly large let's say rocks from point A to point B, you're going to have a much easier, much more efficient time of it putting all 5 rocks into a single wheelbarrow. Concatenation is your CSS file, JavaScript file, and HTML wheelbarrow, moving those from point A to point B in the most efficient way possible. In short, concatenation allows the browser to do what must be done faster. This segues us into the next element of your WordPress performance optimization, actually. The reduction of the total number of requests with which a browser must contend.